Good evening, my little bucks and does. Today, during my, reading today, I noticed a pattern when it came to things that were in the upright and in the reverse. There seems to be an imbalance within within the masculine and the feminine. As well as the Five of Swords flipping upright and upside down, there seems to be a lot of internal conflict and which I don't know if you're resonating with the collective side of this or the karmic side of this, but it makes sense with this retrograde being in Pisces, I believe, and we have a blood moon coming up, but locomotive is what I was getting. Loco means crazy in Spanish, right? And I think we all know what a motive is. Like, I describe it as intention. I'm not gonna pull up the dictionary definition of that. Lately there has been a pattern of the Ace of Cups and the Five of Wands popping out. So there seems to be again a distortion when it comes to a person's intention or a person's motives. They seem to be outrageous. It's like the Ace of Cups speaks of an emotional fulfillment, a love offer, but then met with the Five of Wands, there's a bunch of chaos, right? Like, this is an act of love, but why is it coming with all of this turmoil? Why is there Five of Wands and Five of Swords attached to it? I don't know if you've seen or if you viewed my posts on here, but you should if you have not. But basically my thing is now, before I say this, there's a difference between having sympathy and having empathy, right? Empathy deals with the emotional aspect, but there's also a logical standpoint that comes to it, that comes with it, right? Okay, so and I've dealt with situations where people feed off of sympathy. The word narcissist has been thrown around a lot, right? But again, we have to come back to the realization that narcissism is a personality disorder, right? That's not something that they can necessarily help, but they can get help for that. But they'd have to realize within themselves that there's a problem. But a narcissist doesn't want to do that, do they? Now, a manipulator is, they know what they're doing. It's more calculated, you know. So with me, you have to pick your poison. You're either a narcissist who doesn't know what they're doing, or you're a manipulator, and that's it. There's no in between. There's no gray area with this. So with the imbalance of the masculine and feminine energies, like, you know, this can come with, you know, and with like the Ace of Cups and the Five of Wands, there's like some sort of like, somebody wants emotional balance or love being given, but there's a problem attached to it, like something has to serve this energy in order for them to feel better or feel balanced in their masculine and feminine energy, right? So like it's like, again, with like the flip-flopping, this seems, I don't want to diagnose anybody, but like this seems to be either blatant malicious intent coming after the collective, or this is a personality disorder that someone cannot help, and this is still causing a disturbance. Locomotive, right? Locomotive, it's a train, right? Okay, so it all depends on the conductor, on who the conductor is. Right? So if we're I'm getting temperance with this. If we are moving on a balanced path, there's no flip-flopping, you know, there's a balance between the masculine and feminine, between the light and the shadow, or the ego, then the train runs smoothly, right? But if we have a conductor who is steering the train off the tracks this way and that way and this and that, and like, you know, saying like, oh no, let's go off the track because, you know, I feel like this is the right way for you because, or this is the way the situation should go because it serves me. And you know, maybe they don't want to do that work to keep themselves balanced. Also, they could be surrounded by a bunch of yes men. I don't know, the people who fuel the train with coal and stuff like that, you know, the people who kind of help keep the train in motion, where it's like it will in the motion that the conductor wants it to go. But then again, those people are in the back. I'm unsure. I don't think they could see the front from what I've seen in you know, in these specific locomotives, where like, you know, the old ones where they show the coal. I don't know if you know what if you know what I'm talking about. I binge watched the whole N with an E series, but or it's either maybe the people in the background are choosing not to see, or just like, choosing to be oblivious because they feel like they'll lose a job or lose something, Again, I'm getting like a steam engine, like, self-esteem. Yes, okay, these people these people are fueling this crazy conductor's ego, and this is an ego-driven locomotive. This is an ego-driven train. But the thing is, it's like, the main message that I got from this is like, your self-esteem should not be built upon other people. Because those workers can be cycled out. Then there's going to be one that may not, want to shovel coal into the engine for you no more, because you're rattling the whole train, all the train carts, and you're, about to blow the whole thing up. It's like, but when your self-esteem is built upon other people, when you feel like you need to be put on this big old pedestal, there are that's a very fragile foundation. I'm getting like cheerleaders and like the pyramid kind of, they can't stay like that forever. Eventually the whole thing is going to come tumbling down, and the person at the top is going to fall with them, If the motive is self-serving, then you need to serve yourself by yourself. Why do you need other people for that? Maybe you can invent a train that's on autopilot. You could drive off into all the apple orchards and shit, I don't know. Or if it's a motive and there's an intention set to serve all, then you're gonna have to get the people in the back's opinion or input, on everything, which would also entail addressing imbalances, which, again, a narcissist nor a manipulator is going to want to do that. They rely on influence, on their influence. And when it's fragile like that, there's no, it's not gonna stay like that for long. It's eventually gonna crumble. And the swerving and whatnot with the corrupt conductor is it doesn't start off like that. The swerving and whatnot with the corrupt conductor is it doesn't start off like that. It stays like that until one of the people in the back say, hey, maybe we shouldn't go this way. Oh my God, they start swerving the whole thing. Like, oh my goodness. Like, if you have dealt with any sort of corrupt conductor like this, I'm gonna need you to hop off the train. Or be on alert for when the shit's about to blow up. Because at the end of the day, we are all, no matter if you are in the back supposedly working for someone else, or you're in the background, or you are the conductor, either way, every single one of those people is the conductor of their own life. And again, my glamour playlist will be for self-love, for self-serving purposes, without the corruption. Because expect a backfire with that glamour, by the way. If it's, if you're not, well, no, because you'll attract what you're putting out there. But yeah, I've held back on that for too long, a day too long. But yeah, I don't know. And the funny thing is, after like the final spread was out, there was an emperor reverse and an empress in reverse. So again, with that crazy motive, the corrupt conductor, locomotive, whatever, when one is in balance, both are in balance. And the Emperor and Empress are two major arcana. The ones that kept flip-flopping were the court cards: King of Sword, Queen of Sword, King of Cups, and Queen of Cups. But the Emperor and Empress, they embody all four kings, all four queens. So when one king or queen is imbalanced, the whole thing is flipped up. The whole empire is flipped upside down. We have a steam engine swerving off the track, or this is, the outside energy's motive to do so, but remember, you are also a conductor. But yeah, I am going to leave it right here. Yeah. Subscribe if you want more content. I promise my glamour playlist will be out a little bit after this video is uploaded. I promise. But I will catch you guys on Tuesday. Rest well. Bye-bye.